Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another DCU Daily. If you didn't know, if you're new here, I'm John. Very nice to finally meet you. But to all the returning people, okay, hi, how you doing? I guess. No, I'm just kidding. But welcome to the show. We have a good amount of stuff for you today. We got a lot of Fantastic Four stuff. Should get Liz very excited about that. Oscars talk, talking about our boy Brendan Sklenar. He's been doing a lot of press for Drop. And of course that gets bought back into DC News because he's very aware of the fan casting that everybody has for him as Batman, as well as, a lot of more Supergirl talk with the leaks that happened in regards to, well, not really, well, I guess kind of leaks in regards to her suit. But, you know, before we get into all of that, Liz is here with us today. Liz, hello. How are you
Hello.
doing?
I'm well. Hi, everybody.
She's
I
just
my
ahead today.
I'm just ahead today because I'm in my living room. My cat had emergency surgery this week, so I'm home just making sure she's okay. So if you see me disappear, it's because I'm yelling at my cats in the background. But I wanted to show you guys I have my wall of fame going. It's hard when my screen gets smaller, but you know, doing this for y'all. Just thought it'd be a little fun thing to do this week. But
That's
hello, happy to
okay.
see everybody.
That's okay, but shouldn't we get Ryan Gosling up in this bitch and then really get the show going?
Let's
I
go.
think we should do that, and I think people will get real excited about our boy singing about how he's definitely Knuff.
It doesn't seem to matter what I do. I'm always number two.
All right, Mr. I need to paint my abs on to get nominated. You don't see Robert Downey doing that.
You're kidding.
Robert
You're
Downey.
kidding. I can't open the envelope without the.
Warner Brothers is heading back into the Matrix with a new movie in the works.
Wonder what other surprises are in store.
I want to be Bruce Wayne.
I like that. You're gonna love me.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see Corin's.
Right there.
You look ridiculous.
Well, not no more, he don't.
What, dude? I can barely understand you. Your accent's insane.
What the needs now?
Give me a hand up. Nope, I'm actually okay. Thank you very much. Oh, wow. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
We
goodness.
need to really get into the news, and the first thing we're going to get into is Fantastic Four stuff.
Woohoo!
We were talking about this the other day, and let's talk about it some more. Let's really get those MCU veins pumping. So, Entertainment
Ah,
Weekly did like kind of like a photo shoot thing in regards to like pre-Powers Fantastic Four. They released these images, and we've seen this a couple of them before. Like we saw this in one of like the teasers, but we did get a little bit more showing off the like celebrity nature of the Fantastic Four, which I think looks. I'm digging. I've said this many times. I'm digging the retrofuturism angle. Hell,
yeah,
even Superman's kind of giving us that vibe with the
yeah.
his robots in the Fortress of Solitude. So that's definitely fun. As we said, we got America's sweetheart, Pedro Pascal right here. We got America's mom, it seems like Vanessa Kirby, even though she's British, but we don't talk about that. And then we
Mm,
got America's I don't know, a Jewish guy, I guess. America's favorite
sure.
Jack Kirby allegory, and then
Yeah.
America's favorite beta male. Well, at least that's what Joseph Quinn insinuated with his version of Human Torch. But it's I'm really digging like a lot of the aspects here, like I know like family. Don't worry, I'll play the clip later. But I am digging because that's what they are. They got to really like do that. I mean, the Tim Story versions kind of got that. The fucking Josh Trank one sure as fuck didn't. And then, but this one they're really going for it. It looks wholesome and endearing and cute, and I'm liking the vibe. I'm liking the vibe here. As the Marvel stan here with, Marvel in your last name. What are your thoughts about all this, Liz?
Yeah, I'm completely underwhelmed actually. Like a total opposite of you, unfortunately. I'm like sick and tired of these same images. Like, cool, they're astronauts. We know something's going to happen and they're going to end up with powers. Could we get to any of that action maybe? Could we get to any
Well,
of
they
those
don't want to
shots of
spoil stuff.
I mean, I appreciate it, but it's just so like I don't want to call it mid, but I'm bored. I'm so bored. Like again, I'm super pumped for Thunderbolts. Can't wait for Thunderbolts because they've been giving me action. They've been giving me new stuff. They've been putting out some really good marketing. This is just, hey, it's 4 people in a spacesuit again. Okay, it's just not
Well,
doing it
fuck
for
me
me.
then.
Not yet. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm glad it's getting you excited. I think that's wonderful. That means they're doing their job. But for me, I'm just like, okay, another shot of them doing science stuff.
It's like the one
Cool.
fucking Marvel thing I get excited for, and I'm shit on the bed. God damn it.
I'm sorry. Listen, we can't, that's again, but that's good though because it's showing that they are reaching a broader range, so that's good. So again, if they make somebody like you looking for like excited about it, I think they're doing their job. So that's good. That's all. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm gonna see it regardless. I'm just right
Yeah,
now
we
I'm in
know, but
Thunderbolts mode. I've already got my ticket for Thunderbolts. I'm all in for Thunderbolts right now.
every time I pass by that giant Wheaties box, I always think of you, Liz.
It makes me so happy. I wish I could live in the giant Wheaties box. It's amazing.
Honestly, with how rent and the economy is going, it would probably be a lot fucking cheaper.
I mean, I won't be able to bring all my stuff with me, but I'll be happy. That's all that
Yeah.
matters.
Anyway, but that's not the only Fantastic Four thing. Eben Moss Bachrach, he, I didn't appreciate those CGI comments, sir. I didn't like that. I
Yeah.
didn't like that. That was not cool of you being like, oh, practical effects suck and CGI is better. When, your CGI version somehow looks worse than the practical version from 2005. But
I mean,
I will say he's coming back to me a little bit. Not totally. I'm not forgiving him yet.
that's fair.
But
You're absolutely in the right.
Right. So he was saying this about playing, Micro in the Punisher series, season 1 specifically, and now playing The Thing. He said this, I think it's cool that Micro from the Punisher is named David Lieberman, who takes his last name from Stan Lee, then Ben Grimm is this Kirby amalgamation. It's a deep honor that I take to heart. And I feel like that's, a nice thing, showing respect for the history a little bit. So I like that. I like how he's, showing some kind of respect for that. And I liked him as Micro. I thought he was good. I mean, I think the Punisher show, I think both seasons were good. Like, I know everyone hates season 2.
Absolutely.
I think season 2 was, I get the hate for it, but I pretty much all the John Pilgrim stuff is excellent. It's just all the fucking Jigsaw crap is crap. But
and that's
the
fair.
John Pilgrim stuff is great.
Yeah. I just want to point out, Caleb in the chat, Caleb said the Things movement is too clean, and that's the issue. And you know what? I actually completely agree with that. Like, he's a pile of rocks. He should function like a pile of rocks. He should move like a pile of rocks. We should hear, like grinding of stone every time he makes a movement. And like, this clip always bothered me too when he when he was getting that little taste of the sauce. I was like, you're a rock. Like, can you taste anything? It was just it's all really interesting to me how
I get why they didn't want to do that, because
it's almost like he's made of clay and not stone. Maybe that's what they're going for.
Well, here's why I'm like I don't totally hate the idea they're going for, because the last version we saw was very much that rocky, blocky, grind, like kind of like realistic vibe. And I think they wanted to like go tonally very different. Like they're going for more like the comic booky vibe of non-realism. And I get like really endorsing that comic book nature to it all.
Yeah.
I know it comes down to preference. I get that. I still don't. Honestly, I've said this. I think the Michael Chiklis version looks better than this does, but
Right.
that's just
Well,
me.
and again, again, Caleb is saying again, the design is perfect. It's just the movements for him, which I like I said,
I do think he
that's
moves
what I
weird.
understand.
I just
Yeah.
think the CGI is a little bit off to me, and I
Yeah, it's
get
too
why people
fluid.
like. I don't totally hate like the idea surrounding it, where he's like still functions as relatively a normal guy. It's just like sometimes it's like he's still in this body of rock, and he's not. He can never truly be normal again. Yeah, he's a superhero, but he's dealing with like headspace stuff that could be very interesting. I know Chiklis dealt with that stuff and like with his fucking bitch ex-wife, who went on to play the worst character in The Walking Dead. So it makes sense. But I don't mind it. I get, but the thing is, I don't mind that aspect. I have a million other problems with this, how this looks, but that's just, again, that's my opinion. But I get why they're going for the less realistic look, because Josh Trank went for the super realistic look, and look how that turned out. So I think they're just trying to avoid that and wanting to go for like super comic booky, which I appreciate. I just wish it looked better. But speaking of practical outfits, apparently, according to Matt Shankman, sorry. I always think it's Shankman, but it's Shackman. Sorry.
It should be Shankman. You're all right.
Yeah.
Shankman sounds better.
Anyway, he confirmed that Galactus obviously serves as the main antagonist for the Fantastic Four, and he was saying, well, Ralph Ineson was apparently in an actual real practical suit. He didn't want to, Matt Shackman didn't want to just do motion capture. He didn't want to just like put dots on a guy and just be like, oh, that's it. Okay. And I'm like, cool, that's great. I really appreciate that. I do. Why is that a selling point for your movie? That's literally the bare minimum. You have a suit.
I mean,
for a guy that's in a suit.
That's fair.
Cool. I appreciate.
I mean,
don't get me wrong, I appreciate it, but
it makes me think of like the cosplayers. I guess maybe is they're saying like we have like a tangible, like, I don't know, like foundation for you guys to build your future cosplays off, or I guess they're trying to be relatable in because it's they actually put something together, rather, like you said, rather than
put
like
actual effort in. That's crazy.
right, rather than like covering a spandex suit and dots. Like, yeah, I don't know, but I mean, that's nice, I guess. I just
it's
but you're right. It's interesting, like what we choose to talk about for these projects, and
it reminds me of two different instances of two movies from last year, Beetlejuice, and Dune Part 2, where like Dave Bautista and Jenna Ortega, for their respective movies, were like, we shot on real sets, and it's like,
yeah,
that's literally just filming a movie.
Exactly.
That's just filming a movie. That's the bare minimum of making a movie. It's having a set. Or it's like, oh, we shot in like real locations where you can like actually see other things and not just a green screen. It's like, wow. Again, the bare minimum.
Breaking news, you guys. John and I are going to be filming from our homes. Like, okay, what else would you be doing?
Fair, you don't normally film from your home, but I get what you're trying to say.
Right, correct.
But it's just like, oh, hey, cool, the bare minimum. That's the headline. We're doing the bare minimum for a movie.
Right.
Which, here's the thing. I get like the idea of like trying to win back people with like the practical way of filmmaking, but that's how you should have always been doing it. Like, CGI is a tool to be used to help enhance things that you can't do practically. But when you have Nick Fury sitting in a green screen chair against a green screen background, holding a gun that is just a couple of tubes of plastic that will be enhanced by CGI, that's not how you do it.
Right.
Like, just give the man a fucking plastic gun. It's not hard. You could get him at fucking Party City for $10. Well, not anymore, but you know what I mean. Because Party City went fucking out of business. But that was the only thing that came into my mind.
Yeah.
Anyway. But it's just like, I just think it's just kind of funny how it's like, yeah, practical. It's like it's so tough because it's like the filmmaking artistry side of me is like awesome. That is genuinely great. I'm happy that they're trying to take it seriously with so many years of like doing this, but it's like, but then the fucking sassy bitch side of me is like, cool, you're doing the bare minimum. Congratulations. Do you
Like,
want a cookie?
You mean you're making a film the way films have always been made? Okay. Like,
yeah.
Good job.
Which, I mean, I'm excited for Ralph Innocent. Like, I mean, his work with Robert Eggers has been great. And he has the voice for it of like a villain, so it like works. And I'm curious to see the costume. And so, you know, and it does fit into the style of, you know, the retrofuturism angle we keep talking about and how they keep talking about it. So I appreciate that. I do. But it's just like, hey, you're filming a movie the proper way. Crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see Galactus. I'm curious how that's gonna work. I think he's a little bit too big of a villain, but let's see. Maybe they can really make that properly work here. So, you know, we'll see about that. But yeah, Galactus, bare minimum. Congrats, Shackman. But then next thing they were talking about, hey, Drew Parker, say that again. Anyway, but Pedro and Vanessa, I'm not gonna play the clip because you know demonetization, and I don't think I can play audio here. But essentially here they're talking about how like the chemistry between them and how they're really doubling down on like them being a married couple, a good like healthy marriage, as well as like the passion behind like filmmaking of like comic book stuff, and you know how they're bringing like comic book stuff into here, and like just like kind of the regular press junket kind of things. But like I can see the passion behind this. Like I'll put my cynicism like down for a second. Just
you and I, it's so interesting. I am of a completely different mindset. I saw that clip and I was like, give me a fucking break. Like I don't know what's going on with this marketing, and just I don't know if it's like the angle they're taking with it, but I'm listening to them talk about how like, oh, you know, we're really a family and we're a married couple, and at the end of the day, like that's, you know, and I'm like, this is a freaking comic book movie. This is a Marvel, like, why are you treating it like some Shakespearean like drama, or like, you know, like I just feel like the whole approach that the team is making for this film is just not the right notes, and it's, at least for me, it's not hitting it's not connecting with me at all. Like I see that and I'm like, I roll, like, okay, like, are you like, give me like, get okay, like I want to hear about the action, I want to hear about the villain, I want to hear about their motives, I want to hear about, you know, what's it like suddenly coming to terms with the fact that now you've got these superpowers that you've never had before. But like, oh, you know, our love for one another, that comes before everything, and it's the foundation of our relationship. The fuck are we talking about? You turn invisible and he has awesome spaghetti arms, whatever. Like what? Like, it's a comic book movie. I can't, I don't know what's, maybe it's me, there's something wrong with me, I don't know.
I think there's just something wrong with you.
But I'm genuinely watching this and I'm like gagging. I'm like, what? Like, okay, like, are you,
I
like,
get
come
it
on.
might be a little bit cheesy, but like,
It's
the Fantastic Four.
cheesy.
But that's what the Fantastic Four is.
I just feel like they're trying to make it, they're just trying to make it bigger than it is. I mean, I think like they're like, come on.
I think what they're starting to realize
it's a superhero movie. Like you're not going to be nominated for an Oscar. You're not.
No, I know. I mean,
so stop trying to sell it like this big, like, oh, the passion. Get out of here. Get out.
Well, I think what's interesting about it is that they're trying because they've seen the movies that are just like superhero slop and realize, oh, people aren't interested in that shit anymore. Let's actually try to like
No,
evolve and actually try to
no.
like
I want
make it
superhero slop.
more than that, because look,
No.
that's what the Dark Knight did, that's what Logan did, and those are some of the most celebrated comic book movies of all time because they tried to be more than just silly comic book movies, and I really appreciate that. Like,
No.
Logan is a neo-western about a guy grappling with his mortality, and the Dark Knight is about a man trying to find his place as a hero in a world of chaos. Like, those are deeply interesting ideas and themes, and I feel like the idea here of the Fantastic Four trying to like, be in this world of like maybe commenting on celebrity culture, because that's what it seems like they're doing. Like, Fantastic Four is like big celebrities on the world being the only superheroes, not being in a world of superheroes, and then dealing with this big catastrophic threat. And it's like they only have each other. They don't have a Doctor Strange or an Iron Man to rely on to help him out. It's just a
I mean,
rock
okay.
guy and a
I
bitch who
l-
turns invisible.
I appreciate that that's what you got out of it, and I think that's wonderful. For me, I'm watching it and I'm like, I already had a year of this with Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo. Like it was the exact same level of energy and I'm like, are you for real? Like the way they were talking about the Wicked Witch and Glinda and the way these guys are I'm like, I can't, I don't know. I just can't subscribe. I can't, I'm
I
just
love
not feeling it like
I
that.
love also, hi Dan. Dan is in the chat.
Hi,
Figure drawing
Dan.
is like, chat, we are watching Freaky Friday in action. Liz is trying to give away her Marvel card to John. LOL.
I just need more is what I'm saying. I need more, and right now they're not doing it for me. And I genuinely feel bad saying that because I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna see it. I like all of the actors. Again, where the fuck is Silver Surfer? Why have we not seen any images, any clips? Why are we not interviewing that actress whose name escapes me at the moment? Like,
Julie Gardner, I think
I'm
her name
getting
is.
annoyed because I feel like they're keeping a lot of stuff really close to the chest, but it's like, bro, it's mid-April. Movie comes out in July. You need to fucking get to work. Like, get
I
on
mean,
it.
hell,
Not with this sappy bullshit.
we're maybe getting a second Superman trailer in a week.
But they haven't shut up about Superman for a year though. Like they've been giving us a lot more than what we've been getting with, again, how many images of them in the spacesuits can we see before we're like, okay, I'll wait till it goes to streaming because
I don't know. I feel like they realize what they're I think Marvel's realizing what they're failing at, and they're trying to do better. And what's so funny,
right.
I'm not like
Thank
extremely
you, Caleb.
excited.
Julia Gardner. Thank you.
Julia Gardner. I'm not like extremely excited to see this. It's just like,
listen,
like I'm
again,
open.
I'm
open
not
to seeing it.
upset that you're into it. I think that's great. That makes me very happy. I just feel bad that I can't meet that energy. I'm not vibing with it just now.
Yeah, it's like kind of literal here. Like, I'm here and then you're actually down here.
I'm here for Thunderbolts. That's where I'm again, right now for me,
Yeah,
it's all about
Diet
Thunderbolts,
Suicide
so.
Squad with generic action. I guess that's the way to
Okay.
go.
Whatever.
But we do have more stuff in regards to Fantastic Four. Somebody was released a little clip of this. I think it's just like
Trying to give a little
somebody
background.
created it at Marvel, and it was like just this little side thing of like it's got Miss Minutes in it, it's got TVA stuff.
Yeah.
So like explaining like the timeline and all that. I think this is cute. Like, it's showcasing
No, it's very cute.
like
Yeah.
who doesn't love Tara Strong, who doesn't love Miss Minutes? But I need to update my browser. But yeah, this I don't know, it just looks cute. It looks cool.
Yeah.
I like it. But
Yeah, I like stuff like that. That's fun. Give you a little background.
I like it when they do side stuff like this. It's definitely very cute.
Yeah.
But that's it. Let's move on from Fantastic Four before people blow a gasket. But the next biggest thing
People being me.
is the Oscars are finally doing the thing that people have been clamoring for
So
years.
cool. So
the
cool.
Oscars will finally give stunts and stunt makers, stunt whatever the word is,
Yeah, stuntmen,
stunt
stuntmen, it's
design,
fine.
the
Stunt
achievement in
people.
stunt design will
Yeah.
be showing up in 2 years from now. I know a lot of like big
I don't
like
know why
movie
2 years
fans.
though. That's weird to me. 2 years.
Maybe they're setting up like I don't know. Maybe there's like more like stuff that needs to be talked about, and
Oh,
maybe
sure, like
like
the
certain things
parameters. Yeah, like the rules
like
for the
yeah,
yeah,
the
that makes
rules,
sense.
the
Yeah.
parameters,
Okay.
all that shit probably
Who would
needs
be
to, and like
eligible? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
what classifies as
Well,
stunts,
yeah,
what doesn't.
so I mean, just to give people an example of what we're talking about. So, very classic tale. Aladdin, the animated original film, could not be nominated for original screenplay because Robin Williams ended up ad-libbing so much that they actually kept in the final film. So it took them out of the running for original
Yep.
screenplay. So it's the same kind of thing. So like, as far as who's doing the stunt versus who's coordinating the stunt and different and how much of that is CGI versus practical effects. So yeah, that makes more sense when you break it down like that.
Yeah.
But this is great.
So but yeah, and I also heard about this, the achievement in like casting. That's another big
Mhm.
one that people have
Yeah,
been
that's great.
wanting for years. So that's coming out next year. But this is coming out in 2 years.
Yeah.
So, I'm I'm always on the iffiness of the Oscars. They're pretty much has-beens at this point. Nobody really cares about the Oscars except for Hollywood themselves. But if like it's just
I
stunts are one
care.
of those
I
things that
care.
have been integral for decades at
Right.
this
Well, and
point. That it's like
when you consider that they give out awards for visual effects and like why wouldn't you give them out for something like this? These practical things, people are literally putting their bodies, their lives on the line. Think of how many Oscars Tom Cruise would have at this point if if this category had been around, for a little while now. So
I
it's
mean,
I think it's really cool. I dig it. I'm
it
excited for
is.
the
And Chad
industry.
Stileski, who famously was on a one of his first sets, was on a stunt that went wrong in regards to the crow, who has been a very like stagnant supporter along with his cohort, David Leitch, who they co-directed the first John Wick together for.
Yeah.
They've been, the many stunt performers and stunt designers and choreographers for decades that have been like, hey, like give us our time to shine.
Yeah.
And Chad Stileski is like, finally, this day has come. They're really doing their homework. Hence why I was explaining like why it's taking an extra year for
Yeah.
them to add it to the ceremony.
I'm curious
So
to know what took them so long and what turned them around. So like, famously we just had The Fall Guy and again, like you said, John Wick has been directed by a former stuntman. And we just had The Fall Guy which was action packed based around a stuntman. And they promoted it heavily using a lot of crazy stunts at all the premieres. And then just because we talked about it the other day, Only Murders in the Building, the last season was completely a storyline about a stunt person and another stunt person essentially taking the spotlight from them. So I wonder if it's just because it's all kind of been in the people's stream of consciousness lately, or if this is something that they've been thinking about for a while, or do they feel like they were pressured by the industry? I'm just curious as to A, what took them so long, and B, why now. But at the end of the day, I'm not mad about it. I think it's great,
no,
and finally people are going to get their well-deserved recognition for these things.
yeah, I think Stileski was talking about here. There's like so much that goes into it, like stunt, flight, choreographer, driving,
Right.
underwater.
Oh
Again,
yeah. Oh yeah.
everything Tom Cruise does by himself.
That's right.
No, I'm just kidding. But I think it's cool that they're finally doing this. And it, it seems like it's just like a long time coming. And guys like Buster Keaton did this effortlessly way back when, and now
Yep.
they're like, people will finally be celebrated for this. And this 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 was fucking awesome. This was really great. Apparently, Jason Domenico earns movie Academy recognition thanks to his burn gel. So that kind of adds into the whole
That's
stunt
yeah, it's
coordinator
really cool. Yeah.
thing. Like, oh my god, like, and fucking stunt guys are and gals. Let's not forget all of them. But I love how just like fucking stunt people are like the most batshit fucking insane motherfuckers like
Yeah.
ever. My
Yeah.
two favorite stunt stories actually was the first one was on Nightmare on Elm Street. Now I don't know if people have seen Nightmare on Elm Street, but towards the end of the
Yeah.
movie, we see Freddy Krueger like Heather Langenkamp as Nancy pulled him into the real world, and now she's like setting traps for him and stuff. And at one point, she sets him on fire. And what was supposed to happen was the stunt guy in Robert Englund's like makeup and shit was just set on fire, and he was like supposed to just like kind of stare her down and like just not move, and it would just be like a 3-second shot, and they were gonna douse him. But what the stunt guy did, now I could be getting a little bit of this wrong, and I do apologize, but like from what I remember, it was the stunt guy, like they lit him on fire. Wes Craven said action, and like he started like chasing her around the basement and then started running up the stairs. And then they were like, cut, and then they doused him out. They're like, are you okay? He's like, did we get it? Like, just like completely unfazed at all, just like totally not phased. And it was just absolutely amazing. And then much later on the think X-Men or X2, one of I think it was X2, where Hugh Jackman and we're going to be getting into him a little bit later. Hugh Jackman and Mystique stunt double were doing a scene together, and what the scene, this was back when like they actually used real metal claws on Wolverine during like the more practical scenes when they're like out. So the scene was supposed to be like she like reaches for something and he stops her, but like uses only the two outer ones, or like or like he just stops her and she like but the blade is like really close. And so how the scene actually happened was she reaches for it, the stunt performer, he goes down a little bit too far and he fucking stabbed the stunt performer, and he like removes the metal claws, and there's blood that's coming out, a lot of blood, and they're like cut, and they're like, and Hugh Jackman's like, oh my god, are you like okay, or do we need to get a doctor, we need to do this, and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh my god, like, are you okay? And then she just holds up her arm and she's like, I've been stabbed by the Wolverine. Just like totally, again, just totally unfazed. It's just like, I'm glad that those guys are getting a lot of recognition now in regards to this. So that's awesome. Like I really appreciate that. And those motherfuckers, the goddamn, they are fucking insane. I mean, you know, it's amazing, and it's great that they finally are getting the love and respect they deserve. So yeah, way to go. But moving on to the last couple of news stories. This one was from a while ago, but I think it's just getting recognition now, because I remember reading this like months or maybe even a year ago. Well, Bill Hader was talking about how he got fired from his movie theater job for spoiling Titanic to sorority girls who were making fun of him. So the whole story was, because I remember like watching this clip where it was like he was the guy like ripping tickets, and they like this like a bunch of sorority girls like bought out a theater to like watch Titanic. Right. And they were like in the doorway, like blocking other people from getting in to watch other movies. And while ripping tickets, he's like, hey, can you guys like move? Like people are trying to get in. And they were like, no, shut up, ew, gross, you're like Charles Manson, what the fuck? And he's like, all right, well, guys, you gotta move. I think they were like waiting for somebody, and he's like, well, you gotta move. People are trying to get in. They're like, ew, gross, shut the fuck up, ew, stop, no, whatever, we're not gonna move. And then finally, when their last like friend came in, he was like ripping their tickets. He's like, oh, by the way, Leo dies at the end of the movie. Yeah, he gets fucking killed. And they're like, no, you're lying. Shut up. He's like, no, you think he's asleep, but he's actually frozen. Yeah, he dies. Have a good show. You fucking suck. Get out of here. And then like after they went into the theater, his boss came up to him. He's like, yeah, I gotta fire you, bro.
Yeah.
But
and he felt, I mean, he genuinely felt bad about it because he thought it was the funniest thing he'd ever heard.
Oh yeah, he was like laughing while he was
Yeah.
firing him because it's fucking hilarious. Because like fuck you, like I think that's worth getting fired over because fuck sorority girls. They're all fucking cretins.
Well, and
Fuck 'em.
it just goes to show that the times, right? Because you wouldn't get fired these days for shit like that. But good for him for being a troll and I mean, you know, it's like, you know, it reminds me of like when Harry Potter came out and people were screaming about like Dumbledore dies on page da da da. Like it's that same energy.
Yeah. And it also reminds me of the clip from like The Simpsons where Homer is walking out of Empire Strikes Back. He's like, wow, who would have believed it? Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father. And then the people in line seeing them, they're like, dude, come on. Like,
yeah.
But like, I am firmly against spoilers, but if you're being a dickhead, you have that coming to you. So
100%. You get what you get. You don't get
100%
upset.
behind Bill Hader here. He's great. Yeah. He's funny. I still got to finish Barry. Like it's such a great. Speaking of Anthony Kerrigan, for
Barry's
Superman,
wild. Yeah.
I still need to watch that last season, and God, that was such a fucking great show. But yeah, good stuff. Love Bill Hader. Not much to talk about. It's just like Bill Hader being based. We gotta talk about that because Bill Hader's awesome. Speaking of awesome actors being based, Chadwick Boseman apparently went method actor on the set of Black Panther. Apparently Disney execs were like, oh shit, when he was in T'Challa mode from on and off set where he was always speaking like him, and he pulled what was it, Lazarus from Tropic Thunder, where he doesn't, he doesn't go out of character,
right? Yeah,
until like the DVD commentary, and he didn't turn it off until they wrapped.
Yeah.
Which honestly,
hey,
awesome.
I respect it, and it paid off. Everybody was I mean, everyone's so happy with him and his performance. So again, yeah. I saw Black Panther in theater 6 times, so I'm for it. Go ahead. I think that's great. It just goes to show his dedication to, and how seriously he took it.
Yeah. I mean, this is the type of method acting I don't mind. Unlike, sending dead rats and anal beads to your co-stars. But
I mean,
but I'm sure Caleb doesn't mind because that's his buddy Jared Leto. So
well, Jared didn't send a dead one. He sent a real alive one to Margot, and she kept it and she named it and she loved it very much. So
but yeah, I just think that this is kind of funny. It kind of reminded me of American Psycho, where on the set of that, people straight up didn't know that Christian Bale was British because he spoke in an American accent the whole time. So when he stopped and they were doing interviews and he was using his real accent, they're like, wait, hang on, what?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, Tom Holland's experienced that as well. Who else can we think of? There's plenty of actors that kind of go through that when all of a sudden.
Hello, Manolo. Hello, Ron. No Dan today. No, guys. Sorry. No vest.
He's popping in and out of the chat.
Yeah, but not on screen. Right. But yeah, this is based. This is cool. Just with method acting, just don't be a dickhole. That's all I ask. Don't be an asshole. Like again,
that's what the character calls for, man.
Another decent, a really good like method acting story when Sir Laurence Olivier and Dustin Hoffman were on the set of Marathon Man. He was talking to when they were doing their like the infamous like torture scene from that movie. He was talking with Olivier and he was like, and Dustin Hoffman was like, yeah, I didn't get like any sleep last night, so I looked all fucked up and tortured for the scene today. And Sir Laurence Olivier, aka one of the greatest actors who's ever fucking lived, looks at him and he's like, "My dear boy, haven't you ever just tried acting?" And he's like, just totally fucking wiped him out. Like, just act. Not a problem there. So, I always love that story because Olivier is like the creme de la creme in terms of acting ability. And here he is being like, bro, you could just like pretend. It's really not that big of a deal. But at the same time, this is still pretty cool. Like, the Boseman, was a legend, could have been a further legend. Remember, guys, get your colon checked. Always
get all the things checked. Do all the screenings.
Get all the things checked.
Tests.
Well, he had specifically colon cancer. That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Get your colon checked. Get a colonoscopy. Get your prostate checked. Get your testes checked. Get your boobies checked. Get all the things checked. Get MRI scans to check your brain and your lips and your esophagus and all that shit. Get all the things checked. If you feel a weird lump, if you feel something weird, if you have headaches, if your arm feels weird, get something checked if you can, because we know the health insurance in this country is dog shit. But like, if you can,
do the best you can. Do the best you can. That's all.
If you need to go to a back alley doctor, do that.
Yeah.
If your bro just needs to feel your titty, then that's fine too. Just like get whatever.
Phone a friend.
But moving on from titty and testy talk, last thing, apparently Minecraft is still killing it. $80 million in the second weekend. Meanwhile, the Christian propaganda, the King of Kings film is looking heavenly with $18 million at its debut box office.
Yeah, it's gonna draw a lot of crowds. It's gonna be pretty big. I mean, good for them. They have a stellar all-star cast. So, and Easter's right around the corner, so it makes sense. Right. Good for them. Enjoy. Take that check home.
But thoughts on Minecraft?
Well, we need to bring up the fact that apparently, so everybody's calling it this generation's Rocky Horror Picture Show, because if anybody knows the history, back when Rocky Horror, and still every Halloween on the anniversary, people will still go to theaters and you bring props and you throw things at the screen at certain times and you shout out things at certain times. So they're equating this Minecraft phenomenon to Rocky Horror Picture Show. But now, and I don't mean to pigeonhole anybody, but I feel like this is a Midwest thing. But now apparently in some showings, and there have been reports that people have been sneaking in live chickens.
Yes.
Again, not really sure how that works, how they're accomplishing it, but they are pulling it off. So when the chicken jockey scene comes up, they hold up their live chicken and everybody loses their shit. Thankfully, they're not throwing the live chicken at the screen, at least not yet from what I've heard from reports. But yeah, now we are bringing livestock into the theater. So these people are rabid. I've been saying it since the beginning. These are feral fans. They are rabid raccoons. It's just the lawlessness of this audience is just something to behold. I mean, I don't understand it. I know, again, the people in the theaters don't appreciate it. But if you want to see Minecraft in theaters, I recommend going to an earlier showing where you might not have this kind of chaos. But hey, I guess more power to them. I don't know. As long as you're respectful, I don't care what you do. But a chicken.
Yeah, but these assholes aren't being respectful. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's been the issue. Yeah.
But yeah, I wish I could say,
And Ron, it is bad. It's a horrible movie. It's terrible. But if you're 10 years old or younger,
at least Rocky Horror Picture Show is a good movie,
right?
Right. Like that's why
but this has this. It's got the same cult like following.
That's why I'm more acquainted with The Room, because The Room has a similar thing where you throw spoons at the screen and say things at various points, but meanwhile The Room is a terrible movie, and while Minecraft as well, from what I have heard, is also terrible. But
yeah, it's not.
Yeah, it's just adding to the whole thing. Now I've only seen one live chicken video, so I think it's just the one guy, hopefully. But yeah, not great, but yeah, it's not great. And, I try to avoid the whole, this generation, because I hate it when boomers do that to me.
No, that's fair.
So that's why I try not to do that to Gen Alphas. So, and kind of, Z, because I'm like a weird, between millennial and Z, so like I kind of am, kind of not. But anyway, I try not to do that because it's like boomers do that to me all the fucking time, and it's so fucking annoying and it's aggravating and it's fucking infuriating. It's like, you ruined life for me. Why are you yelling at me?
You have to do it back to the boomers. That's we say that all the time at work. We're like, that's real boomer energy. But
okay, boomer.
Again, not to pigeonhole anyone, but
it's just like, so I don't want to be like that way to like the newer generations, but then y'all motherfuckers do shit like this, and it's really hard not to just like want me to like beat the shit out of you. Like, it's just like, guys, like, just be respectful. It's not hard. As Nice Pool said, being kind is free. I know shutting the fuck up is also free, according to Wolverine, but remember, being kind is free. Just don't throw. You can bring in live chickens. You can yell at the screen.
I mean,
just
technically it's illegal, but sure.
I mean, like, okay,
there ain't no service chickens. I'll tell you that.
Don't make a mess, because then these poor 18-year-olds working minimum wage have to clean
up
that shit
after yourselves, and you can do whatever bullshit you want.
Yes,
I'm okay with that too.
Yeah, because I just went to the movies today, and I'm just looking at all the retail people, and I'm like, I feel so fucking bad for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm like, I just wanted to like
on life at this point.
I just wanted to like go up to each one of them and just like give them a hug and maybe like $20 and just like, I'm so sorry.
Yep.
But let's move on to bigger and better things, because the better things we have are quick hits. Yay. Music. So let's put the quick hits banner up. There it is. Okay. So first things first on the quick hits. May Calamaway, I don't know who that is, has been cast in the upcoming Mummy movie from Lee Cronin, which is going to be releasing a year from the 17th. Thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not that familiar with her. She was in that movie Thursday with Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I think that's the one I'm thinking of. Nope, that's not the one I'm thinking of. Anyway, so she was in this movie called Thursday, which came out in 2006, and also the film The Actor, which is coming out this year. So good for her. Congratulations. Get that check, girl.
I'm super excited for Lee Cronin's movie. Hopefully it's better than the god-awful Tom Cruise one. So
we don't even acknowledge.
Yep.
He shouldn't have left the house. Again, what do I always say? He shouldn't have left the house for that one.
Anyway, but speaking of...
Oh, apparently she was in Moon Knight. Thank you, Dan.
That's what it was. I'm like, okay. I think that's what this is from. Anyway, but speaking of...
she was not in Craven, Caleb.
Speaking of mythical gods... kind of, Brett Goldstein apparently is getting his first stand-up comedy special at HBO.
Yeah.
You actually watched Ted Lasso, so thoughts?
Well, not only did I watch Ted Lasso, but my sister, my mother, and I saw this exact stand-up special last year live and in person, and I never knew Brett and I had so many things in common. We are pretty much the same person, which is refreshing and nice, but he makes way more money than I do. But
you have a cat, so you're winning.
I mean, he might have a pet or two. This is Oliver, you guys, named after the cat from Oliver and Company. Anyway, but the stand-up special is really fun. It's an interesting look into Brett's ways of thinking and viewing the world. He is very much like his Ted Lasso, Roy Kent character, but also very out there but yeah, like I said, I'm literally in the theater listening to him and watching him and laughing and going, do we share the same brain? Like pretty much every opinion he has on every aspect of life is exactly the same one that I have. So that was really, really nice. So it's a lot of fun. Check it out if you guys get the chance, because again, it's a side of him I don't think people are used to seeing. They're not really familiar with him as a stand-up comedian, but that's where they pretty much discovered him with Ted Lasso and why they asked him to write for the show. So there you go. Yeah. Good job, Brett.
But hopefully he can reprise his role as Hercules in the MCU. Probably not.
Probably not.
But a man can dream, I guess. Not really.
Yeah.
He was in the fucking post-credit scene for the worst Marvel movie, so maybe it's good that he doesn't come back.
I mean, he got that check, so good for him.
He'll stick with Ted Lasso season 4 and this. Congrats, bro.
Yeah.
So apparently
he's got some movies coming out. He's got a couple movies on Netflix already as well, and he's got 2 more coming out. So keep an eye.
So apparently Johnny 2 plans to shoot a Hong Kong gangster movie that could reunite him with Tony Leung. Thoughts?
Cool, good for them. I'm looking forward to it. I personally enjoy a Hong Kong gangster movie, so I'm for it. Oh yeah.
Tony Leung, fucking amazing actor.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Speaking of not really amazing actors, but another actor, Josh Holloway apparently to star in Western Flint based on a Louis L'Amour novel. Thoughts?
Yeah. I enjoy a Western, so good for him.
Yeah. Get those paychecks, bro.
Yeah, I'll probably see it.
Then apparently RuPaul's Drag Race pit crew star Bruno Alcantara set as host of Happy Endings on WoW Presents Plus.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is.
So basically he's going to be giving people massages while interviewing them, and just sharing the benefits and talking about how personal touch, personal connection, and then the art of massage itself is really good for you. I personally am a big fan of massages. I get massages fairly regularly as part of my just regular health routine for my physio. But good for him. I won't watch it. It sounds kind of boring in my opinion, but depending on what kind of guests he's got on the show, it could be pretty cool. So good for him.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of interviewing, what would you rather have, a massage or being killed by hot wings?
I mean, I really enjoy Sean Evans's interview style, and the questions are pretty great. They do their research, so I know. If anything, I wouldn't say I'd do the hot wings first and then the massage, because massages get stuff moving, you know what I'm saying? So I'd probably do the massage first, just get in Zen mode, and then go do the hot ones, and
yeah,
all good.
So yeah, congrats to this fella. Anyway, New Line's Companion sets Max premiere date, which is apparently going to be on Friday, April 18th, exactly 7 days, 1 week from now. Thoughts? Did you watch this or no?
Yeah, we saw it.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched it.
I forget. Bro, that's 2 months ago. That's out of my brain already. That's wiped clean. Nope.
Yeah.
Great.
Remember, I said the only thing that took me out of the idea that it was an AI generated was that her teeth were fucked up. But other than that, I enjoyed the film. So check it out, guys. It's loaded with stars too. So
go watch it.
If you didn't get to see it in theaters, go watch it. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we both give it a high recommend. So 1 week at apparently, and you could watch it also on HBO if you still have a cable package on the 19th at 8 o'clock. So for all 2 of you that are watching that still have a cable package, there you go.
That's right.
For everyone else, Friday, April 18th is when we're getting Companion. So get stoked. They released a blooper from, Brave New World with Harrison Ford going Hulk mode. Yeah, this was kind of funny. Thoughts?
I mean, somebody had asked him about that, had asked him about this footage in particular and the CGI motion capture and all of that stuff, and he was like, I think they said something to him about how do you get into that mode, or what's your motivation, or do you feel goofy? And he basically was like, there's nothing goofy about the check they cut me. It's exactly what he said.
Exactly.
So hey, do what you gotta do.
Very amusing, but let's hope Marvel doesn't demonetize us for that. Anyway, so apparently there's a thing called the Haley Steinfeld effect, where she's just killing it. She
makes good
killing
choices.
it.
She
has a really good agent, being part of Sinners and Arcane and, both of the Spider-Verse movies, True Grit, Edge of 17, Dickinson, Hawkeye, Bumblebee. A girl is killing it, and she's she's playing sexy vampire lady. So
yeah,
I'm not complaining.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
like her a lot, and I'm looking forward. And I'm really looking forward to Sinners, even though it's probably gonna make me pee my pants. But yeah. Good for her.
Yeah. So remember, for sinners, come for the Michael B. Jordan's covered in baby oil and sexy vampire Haley Steinfeld's, and stay for a Kino vampire horror flick.
Woo-hoo.
So congrats, Haley Steinfeld. Okay, well, this guy is really upset about that. Like literally everyone else loves Arcane, so I don't know. Yeah, let's anyway.
Oh well. Haters gonna hate.
Kubrick has stayed on board with upcoming documentary on the impact of 2001: A Space Odyssey. Apparently, Leonardo DiCaprio, Mike Medavoy, and more are producing it. Thoughts?
I'll see it. I love a documentary. I know 2001 blew everybody's collective minds at the time when it came out. It was, I mean, cinematography is unbelievable. It holds up to this day. The pacing, I'm not a big fan of, but to this day, it's still considered one of the classics for a reason. I saw this film and then went and read the book that it was based off of. That's how much I got out of it. So cool. I hope it encourages other people to, do a deep dive after the fact and learn some more about it. Yeah. So I think that's great.
I watched 2001, not my cup of tea, but maybe this will be actually interesting.
Again, the pacing is understandably difficult for folks. And
horrendous.
I totally get that. Yeah.
I mean, the effects still hold up to this day. Like it still looks amazing. So I will give them that. But last quick hit we have here. Apparently, everybody's favorite CEO, David Zaslav, made more money.
Yep.
Thoughts?
People still can't afford to buy eggs, but good for him.
And a guy that's running Warner Brothers into the ground as we speak gets more money.
Thanks, Minecraft.
Thanks, Minecraft. Anyway, that's it for quick hits, guys. Let's hopefully fucking move on, but we'll
and quickly.
Anyway, there we go. But now we're moving on to bigger and better things, but I have to change out the links, so this is going to take a while. Hey Liz, great. Why don't you talk about show off the cat? Boom, there we go.
Again, this is Oliver. He's 3. He's my best friend. He's a little snuggly man. His sister, as I said earlier in the show, had emergency surgery this week, so she is hiding and feeling sorry for herself and sleeping off her anesthetic and all that good stuff. And he's just looking for company, so he follows me around the house, but that's my man. But again, also for you that weren't here in the beginning of the chat, I'm in my living room because, again, like I said, emergency surgery, didn't want to leave the cat alone for too long tonight, so here we are. But this is my wall of fame. This is me. My autographs and my selfies from Comic-Con. So hopefully you can see some of them. I know the angle's not that great, but if I go any further, you're going to see this much of my forehead, and nobody wants that. So here we are. Yeah. That's Wilson Phillips. That's Ian Ziering. That's AJ McLean. I'll just keep pointing people out.
Anyway, hi guys. welcome to DCU Daily. My name is John, if you hadn't heard. Hello there. And we also have your girl Liz here talking about things she barely knows anything about, but that's okay. We still love her anyway.
I'm getting better.
I am
watching things now.
It's okay. We still love you. Anyway, but it's perfect timing since I just watched ya boy in Drop today, which is great. Maybe we'll be doing a review of that next week in addition to...
I'll be seeing it this weekend. Can't wait.
Into whatever the fuck else. But he was talking about, like the fan casting and resulting of him being the Batman. So he was essentially talking about the character, what it means to him, all that stuff. So Sklenar was saying his favorite is, of course, Christian Bale, like you and every other normie. And he was among the many reasons why Sklenar hopes to take on the mantle for James Gunn's DCU, which is unconnected to the Batman epic crime saga. Sklenar is apparently the top choice among the aforementioned fan casters, and he already has plenty of ideas on how to differentiate his version of the character from the many other on-screen Cape Crusaders. He said,
Yeah.
I have my own ideas on the character if that ever comes to fruition. He was my favorite comic book character as a child, and he's superior because he's a real man. I don't know about that, but sure. I think there's a lot more to explore there, and there's a way to do it that makes it feel very real. So if it ever comes around, I would gladly take that torch, and I would not take it lightly. And
Yeah.
apparently, according to another, on the other side with Marvel, he was saying, the interviewer was saying to Sklenar, Hugh Jackman jokingly nominated you to be the next Wolverine at the end of the sketch. Did you guys ever talk about it behind the scenes in more sincere terms? He said, no, I would be terrified to ask Hugh about that. Hugh is one of the warmest, kindest male actors I've ever met in my life. Well, apparently to everyone except his ex-wife. He's shockingly kind and warm and affable, and he's very endearing. So I've had some lovely moments with him, but I would never dare dream to ask him about that. Ryan jokes about how he'll probably die playing Wolverine at some point, and I can't see anybody else ever playing Wolverine. He is Wolverine. So I would love for him to continue to be Wolverine for as long as he physically can. Now, what are your thoughts on, Sklenar taking the let's ignore the Wolverine stuff.
Well,
Because
first of all, it cracks me up because we hear this over and over again. Quite frankly, any warm-blooded individual who's asked to play Superman or Batman is not going to say no. Like you're not going to be like, I mean, maybe if you felt like you couldn't do the character justice or something, but
Jude Law said no.
It's every man's dream, supposedly.
Well, not everybody.
But again, I know we've talked about this plenty of times. Like you yourself have said, they need to be both Batman and Bruce Wayne. He is not a Bruce Wayne to me, in my opinion. So as I like him as an actor, again, I'm looking forward to seeing Drop. I saw him in This Is Us. Like, I do like this guy. I like his overall vibe, but Batman, no, sir. Wolverine, I could see more, to be perfectly honest. And the fact that he's like more terrified of that prospect, I think is a good thing. So, okay. I mean, he's just really now hitting his stride, and we'll be seeing a lot more of him in the future. I'm sure he's been a part of the Yellowstone
cinematic universe
productions. Yeah, thank you, cinematic universe.
Well, not really cinema, but like television.
Yeah. But so good for him. But he's not my Batman. No offense, buddy, but y'all know how I feel about that.
Well, the thing is, I was kind of like on the fence. I'm just going off of what everyone else was saying. Like a bunch of other people were like, oh yeah, I can see him as Batman in 1923. He was really good. I was actually asking my mom about it because she and my dad watched the show. So I was like, oh yeah, the guy, Spencer Dutton. I was like, yeah, people have been saying like fan casting him as Batman. And she was like, oh yeah, 100%. I could see him as Batman. And I'm like, that's cool. And so I was on the fence because I couldn't really judge him because I hadn't seen anything with him like majorly as like a major character.
Yeah.
That is until today. And now I'm like, give me Brandon Sklenar as Batman, because in Drop, he does so many things in this movie and and the way he plays the role as this character in this movie, I'm like, this is like giving major, like really good, like Bruce Wayne vibes, but also like a good, like, as many would say, green flag masculinity.
Okay.
Most definitely. And I think that's definitely something that should be attributed to Batman.
Well, I'll think about it when I see it this weekend, but I'm not there yet.
The thing is, there's two moments that I'm not going to spoil them, obviously, but there's two moments later on in the movie, and there's a bit of a musical score. It's by Bear McCreary, great, film composer. But there was like a moment, and the score sounded a little Danny Elfman like, and when this happened, I just got so pumped, and I'm like, yep, this dude's fucking Batman. Give me this guy as Batman. Like, I was like, just with like two scenes, one like conversation, like dialogue scene, and one like more like do-gooder scene. I'm not going to try and spoil it, but I'm like, this dude needs to be Batman. This guy, like, he understands like this character already, even though he's not playing that character. It's just like, I see, like, he had the charisma for Bruce Wayne. He had the like compassion side for Batman. He was like overall just like had like a sense of justice with like a sense of goodness about him that I'm like I want to see in Batman. So I'm like, hell yeah, give me Brandon Sklenar's Batman. Like I was like on the fence, but like I can't judge him. Like it wasn't like bad or good or anything like that. But I'm like, let's see. I finally saw one movie. I'm convinced. Give me this dude as Batman because he would fucking rock it. Like he's got the good looks, he's got the bod, he's got the acting ability, which is something Alan Ritchson definitely doesn't have.
First of all,
so I'll take it. I'll fucking take Wolverine. I can't really see because honestly, just like the full roided out anger you need for Wolverine, I can't see it from him. So like, I personally can't see that, but that's just me. But you know, we're injected into my veins now. But yeah. Caleb is just like Alan Ritchson. What's acting? Yeah, that's a great question. He hasn't answered that with his entire acting career. So I just you know, also Jalen Harris is in the chat. Elite Easy Enterprising. Sorry, I haven't been interacting with the chat as much. But great to see you guys up in this bitch. Oh, and Nico as well. Yeah, thank you for all of your lovely comments. But yeah, I can see it now. I can see it. Fuck it. Let me do it. Let me see it. And apparently, I think the 1923 and like the DCU shares like a cast. I think there's like an overlap between like Warner Brothers and this of like casting agents or like something like that. So like, maybe. And I'm like, let's hope. But yeah, I think this is, you know, pretty awesome to see. And, you know, just throwing his hat into the ring. You know, but yeah, him and Corn Sweat sounds like a perfect World's Finest. Honestly, hell yeah. I think he's a little bit young. I would like to see him a little bit older, but like he could probably nail like an older face. Like, I mean, he's 34 now, but obviously we will see what Batman they really want. And you know, but it should be a lot of fun. But apparently but moving on from the other side, from Batman to Superman, apparently they're still making predictions about this. I don't know how good this claim is, but Variety predicts Superman could be nominated for the Oscars in 2026 for best visual effects. I'm really curious to know your thoughts on this because I don't know.
I can see it being nominated. Will it win? No. But good for them. Throw your hat in the ring, and I hope you get the recognition you deserve. But I don't see them winning, at least not the major awards. So, oh well.
I mean,
but still looking forward to the film. I hope everybody sees it in theaters.
I mean, from what we've seen of the sneak peek, the visual effects look quite good. I will say that they look very good.
Yeah.
They actually put time and effort into this, unlike another comic book company. But, you know, I mean, it's hard to say predictions now because the movie hasn't come out yet. They haven't even thought about the next Oscars yet. They're still trying to figure out the stunt performing rules. So, you know, let's not get too much into there. But
yeah. I mean, Nico in the chat is saying Crypto looks really good. A lot of dog owners believe that it is a real dog in the film. So, I mean, that just from that little 5-minute clip alone, that's something.
I mean, I think they need new glasses because I don't know about that. Maybe that's just me. I've just seen so many movies where I'm just like, it's a very good CGI dog. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not like fucking Call of the Wild where it was like, for lack of a better term, rough. But you know, it's a very good, but like it's clearly a CGI dog. Like,
right.
Like I remember my parents when, like, kind of a side thing in terms of CGI, when they were like, "Oh yeah, when we got out of seeing Beauty and the Beast." And they're like, "Oh yeah, the makeup on the Beast looks good." And I'm like, "How the fuck do you not see that as CGI?"
Right.
Like, Jesus Christ, the CGI. I mean, it wasn't bad CGI. It was just like clearly CGI. And I'm like, I think you need your glasses checked, man. Like that's oof. But it's still very good CGI. Like the dog looks great, the robots look great, the fortress looks great, the like sun peeking in and all that. Like there's actual color here, which is like amazing. Just who would have thunk putting color in a color movie? Crazy. Anyway. But yeah, I mean, would it be nice? But considering no comic book movie has ever won best visual effects, so it's just one of those things where like you think it would be easy for a comic book movie to get like a best visual effects Oscar because there's a lot of visual effects that goes into it, and on top of the fact it's like one of the quote unquote lesser awards. They're like, oh yeah, we'll throw you a bone, here's a visual effects Oscar. But no, never ever. They've been like tons have been nominated, like Dark Knight, Iron Man, like tons of Avengers, like MCU movies, just like and DC movies, all that shit. Never like in terms of the comic book movies that won, Dark Knight won for best supporting actor. Um, Suicide Squad went, Caleb's favorite movie, won for best makeup and hairstyling, and then
Yeah.
Black Panther won for score and I think like costume design or like one other one. I forget. I know they did. I know because Ludwig Göransson did the score for Black Panther, and that was his first. That was his first Academy Award. So so I know that, but I think Black Panther won one other one, and please tell me in the comments below. But yeah, for some reason, visual effects. That's the
Yeah,
comic book
like I
movies
said,
never win this one.
being nominated is one thing that they certainly won't win, but good for them.
Yeah, I can yeah, I could see it being not maybe being nominated, but even then, you know, but going on to more Superman news. Apparently, your boy Beck Bennett, who is playing the douchiest
Why are you
douchebag
calling him a
at
boy, first of all?
ya boy, it's me, ya boy. Hey demons, it's me, ya boy. Anyway,
I no, sir.
I don't know. It's just like a phrase or something. I don't know. Like people say. Anyway, that's not the point. But Beck Bennett playing the douchiest douche upon douchedom in the Daily Planet as Steve Lombard. But he had this to say in regards to his character. He's like, if you know him at all from reading about him online or the comic books, he's an adversary for Clark Kent at the Daily Planet. They work together. He's a sports writer there. He's kind of a little bit of an adversary for everybody. He doesn't really have a filter. He has strong opinions. With Steve Lombard, a defining trait of him by one of the creators or writers of the early Superman comics, he was described as a run-through character where you can run him through a scene and you're going to get a positive response or a fun response or a laugh. He's a character where when you see him, you know what to expect. You know he's going to be an overly confident and then kind of fall flat on his face and get embarrassed. It's really fun to play a character who is so cocky and just always ends up getting his comeuppance. But that's kind of what you expect, I would say, with anything that James Gunn does. He took that concept of the character and made it even more fun. Yeah, I think that's I think that makes sense. Like he gets the character. He's an asshole. He's a douche. Like boom, there you go. And you know what? He looked like from this, he looks like an asshole. Like, look at that face. I just want to punch it. Like, no offense to Beck Bennett.
100%.
But like, I'm sure I haven't really seen him and stuff. I'm not familiar with him, but hang on. But I think I think he's, as Kal-El of Smallville. Oh yeah, we eating good in 3 months. I think we are eating good with this Steve Lombard, and
Yeah.
it's nice to see him. We haven't really seen a lot of him. But a lot of more comments. He looks douchey in the best way. Yes, Caleb. He's a toned down Ron Burgundy. If he says 60% of the time, it works every time. Honestly, I could see it. I can see it. But yeah, I think this is great. Actually like knowing about comic books and like trusting the comic books and being respectful of the comic books and using that in your movie. Crazy. Anyway, but yeah, super excited to see him. But the next thing we have from the man himself, but apparently there was for the upcoming big Superman day and this comic book celebration. Apparently DC was putting out some really interesting stuff. This Superman Day, which is April 18th, which is exactly 1 week from now, which we might be getting the trailer. Action Comics #1 Golden Age Facsimile Edition and a stunning Dan Morrissey Action Comics #1 homage stock card variant, and it's available at your local comic book store. So if you guys really want to catch this amazing variant of Action Comics #1 along with reproduction, then go to your local comic book store and get one. I don't know if there is your local comic book store anymore because all of them are dropping like flies now. But if you still have one, then I would say try to get it at your store. Are you going to pick up one of these, Liz? Because I know you're
No.
just such a big fan.
Yeah, no, I mean, maybe honestly, maybe just for like the collectability, aspect of it. But to be perfectly fair, I'll probably just forget. Like, I only know about these things via this show, and if it works for my schedule, great. And if it doesn't, then I'm gonna miss it. But hey, I hope y'all run out there and add it to your collection.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on, shall we? Next thing we got is apparently the Cleveland Guardians will be hosting DC Superman Night on Wednesday, July 23rd at Progressive Field. There will be a Metropolis Meteors t-shirt giveaway for the first 15,000 fans. Plus, purchasing a theme night ticket, you'll get a limited edition MLB Superman bobblehead. God, I think this is the only time in existence anyone has ever said, man, I wish I lived in Cleveland.
I mean, I feel like this should have been part of Quick Hits because I don't understand how this is like news, but
come on. I wish I could get
you
one
a
of
bobblehead,
these.
gang.
This
Find it on
amazing.
eBay in 24 hours for
and
for
it's
$200.
Gonna cost $15,000. Like, no. Anyway, hey, look, there's your boy Caleb. There he is. Hey, Jared Leto in the shitty Tron movie. But this looks fucking awesome. I wish this didn't happen after the movie came out. I wish this happened in preparation for the movie. That would have been nice.
I'm not saying the bobblehead doesn't look good, guys. I'm just saying I don't understand why this is like headline news. That's all.
I want this shirt. I want this goddamn shirt.
eBay, babe. eBay.
Yeah.
All your lunch money.
Know what I'll do? When somebody can make like an Etsy homemade version, and I'll buy that one for like a fraction of the price. That's probably what I'm gonna go with. But this, I don't know. It's awesome. All right, it's awesome. I wish I could get one, but I wish this was. It just doesn't make sense that you're doing it after. It's like, wouldn't it make more sense to like get people pumped up for the movie? And because then if the movie sucks, I don't think it will. But if it does, then people are gonna fucking be like throwing this shit out and not wanting it. So I don't know, but like,
well, again, it'll just end up on all the reseller sites and okay, people are gonna end up spending money on free shit. Cool.
Cool. Anywho, so WB's Michael DeLuca, who still has a job at WB, says James Gunn crushed it with Superman. It's the Superman I grew up with. It's so epic and visually arresting and emotional. The performances are great. It is a 5-star movie. The man who works at WB is pumping up a WB movie. That's crazy. So it's like, like obviously, what the fuck is he gonna say? Oh yeah, the movie's like fucking dog shit. Don't watch it. And so, and AKA the movie that if it succeeds, I will maybe actually get to keep my job at WB. Go see that, guys. Go see this movie that will actually have me keep my job if it does well. So,
listen, I'm predicting after all this Minecraft crap, there's gonna be a chicken jockey movie. They're gonna come out with a musical version. I mean, so WB, they're gonna be fine. They're gonna be just fine.
But yeah, it's just like, honestly, it's nice to see talking about it. But the thing is, I don't exactly trust it, considering he works there, like, and he's like the head honcho for specifically Warner Brothers Studio, not DC. But still cool, still nice. I
Minecraft Folly Do. I love you, Caleb. I love you. That's great.
Anyway, yeah, exactly. Elite Easy. The Flash is the greatest superhero movie I've ever seen. It's like, yeah, it's like they fucking shipped the shit out to fucking Tom Cruise. Yeah, it's great, guys. Was that good? Okay, cool. And then so like you can't really trust them. It's nice to see I wish I believed them. I wish I was naive and ignorant enough to believe them, be like, oh, that means the movie's gonna be great, guys. I wish I was that naive, but I'm not. I have at least one functioning brain cell left, and I'm like, yeah, I don't believe you. I'm sorry. I want it to be great. I want it to be amazing. I want it to be a 5-star movie. I want it to be like the Superman we all grew up with. However, you work there. I don't trust you. So, yes,
And that's fair.
You wrote John Carpenter's last great movie. That doesn't mean this movie will be great. Okay? So,
Right.
yeah. But, still nothing more to say. Anyway, so we're getting another quick look. Ooh, there we go. We've got some like Superman stuff, but yeah, Nicholas Hoult looking pretty good. But we got your boys. We got Lex Luthor and Superman talking to James Gunn directing, and wherever this is, who knows. I would like to believe it's probably in the train station that they were filming in Cincinnati. Possibly. Because like I don't know, I'm just kind of getting a train station vibe with this. Like it's like underground.
Yeah, that's fair.
And, I think it looks cool and I think it looks great. And it's nice to see Nicholas Holt's nice little butt. Anyway.
Yep. Butt and a bulge.
I mean, no baby oil, unfortunately. Sorry, Liz, but
it just complicates matters, so it's okay.
And Caleb also, hi Hunter Iggy. Caleb also saying when Ezra Miller put those babies in the microwave, cinema. I agree. Cinema. But Caleb also saying not being a troll for once, he's saying that smile, pure and utter Superman, which I would happen to agree with. Looks great.
That's
here.
nice. Yeah, very cute.
And the suit looks great here. It does look great. I still can't get behind the cape not being tucked into the neck, but outside of that, it's pretty damn good. Like I have a version in my head that I would prefer, but it's my specific version. It's not James Gunn's version. This is his movie. He can do whatever the fuck he wants, and this is how he envisioned his Superman to look. So I'll take it, and I appreciate that vision.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that is pretty much it for like a lot of the other, stuff in regards to DCU. Now we're getting into Millie Alcock again. There's a slightly better look at her as Supergirl.
Sure, slightly better.
It's we're getting a look
taken
at
from
Crest.
A Nokia fucking brick phone at 300 yards away. Sure. Looks great.
But like, okay, we didn't see this before, but now we're getting a bit more of the color. We're getting a bit. We can see.
You mean the color that Supergirl always wears? You mean oh wow, look, it's blue, red, and
Not
gold.
necessarily.
We've never seen this before. Okay.
It's like actually bright blue, unlike the fucking Supergirl TV show one, which was like navy blue and burgundy for some reason. So, and she's not like wearing pants, and we could see the boots. We could see it a little bit better than the other day, and it looks good. Like, I think, I'm curious what, yeah. But Enterprising can't wait for this movie. The cape is its own person. I'm digging that Supergirl suit. Surprised you didn't get struck down by Daddy WB. Yeah, we didn't. Crazy. Classic Supergirl suit for the win. It looks better than the ass CW show. Exactly. And I think this is pretty much, we could see here that it's that official Crest. They are going with a uniform look across both Superman and Supergirl, because sometimes they have discrepancies, sometimes they have differences in terms of like the crest and the overall look, but it looks like we're getting like a golden belt and it's going to be very similar to the Woman of Tomorrow outfit that this is basing itself on. So they're really going in on the adaptation side of things, like a nice bright red, bright colors.
Yeah.
Insane, I know. But but again, I'm liking what I'm seeing because I was like unsure what style they were gonna go with. I believe like, oh, maybe they'll go with the new 52 version where it was like kind of more like a swimsuit kind of thing, where it was more like a underwear rather than the skirt. I also could see them going with the pantsuit that
Right.
Melissa Benoist had in later seasons of the Supergirl show. Or they could have done like the more classic look where it was blue on blue instead of blue on red. But I'm glad that they're actually going classic with this, giving her the skirt and the boots and all that, and maybe she won't be a little prissy bitch about it like Melissa Benoist. She's like, I'm cold, I'm sick of wearing a skirt, I want pants. So she's actually going to tough it out, but she's getting a shit ton of money, so that's cool. But from what we've seen here in this super pixelated images, Liz, what are your thoughts on this beautiful looking suit that we kind of see here?
Yep. Looks like a Supergirl suit.
You're no fun. So, moving on to the next thing. So I mean, confirming with those, this is the suit that was in Woman of Tomorrow. Ooh, the face does not look good there. But where it's like boots all the way up, very big golden belt, and then but with the exception of the Kingdom Come logo where it's like more of a crest than the S. But yeah, it seems like it's going to be similar to the Bilquis Evely, who famously was the artist for Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. So yeah, this is looking great. I mean, it is I completely forgot the Sasha Calle version was also the pantsuit, which was okay. It was fine for the DCEU, but I'm glad they're going for the more classic look. It just looks overall better. But it's not, but it's also, speaking of Supergirl, it's Millie Alcock's 25th birthday today. So happy birthday, Millie
Happy
Alcock.
birthday, madam.
We are, well, some people are excited. The haters aren't, but they're not people, so we don't count them. But most of us are excited to see you in your upcoming film, and hopefully you will do Supergirl proud, and I think you will. So happy birthday, Millie Alcock. Hopefully you have a very, very bright future ahead of you in regards to this movie, and hopefully it'll open up many doors, not just, House of the Dragon, but this as well, even though I don't think she's going to be in future seasons of that show, but that's how it be. So, very, very exciting. Lovely to see it. Lovely to see Millie Alcock just rocking the suit. Seeing all the stuff in regards to Supergirl. Again, I wish Lenny were here because she's been like aching for Supergirl stuff, and she hasn't been part of the streams. Hopefully she wasn't too pissed about what happened last time, but it's still great to see. So not a ton of DC stuff today, but that's okay. Then Liz can go to bed early and it'll be fine.
I'll snuggle with my cat.
But that kind of seems to be it for the DC side of things, but we still have a little bit more, just a couple more minutes. We have some questions and comments that I wanted to showcase, a little crass comments, but that's neither here nor there. But this show can get a little crass, so it's fine. So the fan comments I wanted to get into, these have been like a rundown of like the past couple of streams, but JB1138, he always catches us after the fact, usually doesn't catch us during, but that's okay. But JB was saying about RDJ's Doomsday hair, do we need to see Dr. Doom under the mask? I don't think we should see Dr. Doom under the mask at all. In fact, having Tony Stark be Dr. Doom still seems like a bad idea. It does. It reeks of desperation since the MCU has gone downhill since RDJ left. Yeah, but considering the fact he is played by Robert Downey Jr., they're gonna be revealing his face. They're gonna be showing his face. Like, bro came back for like $80 million. This motherfucker is gonna show his face constantly, and that's what we're gonna get. So, Marvel Stan, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I mean, I feel like showing his face, if anything, it's probably just for the sake of his origin story. And yeah, also cashing in on the fact that they got RDJ to come back. Again, there have been rumors that Tony Stark was actually a variant of Doctor Doom, so we'll see what happens. We'll see how it all connects. I just wish they would, they brought out all those wonderful chairs. They maxed out their director's chairs budget, and yet the only face we're seeing for any of these productions is RDJ. So
Yep.
we need to start bringing in some other folks. That's all.
Yeah.
But I like the hair. I do like the
Channing Tatum. He needs to make a name for himself. Anyway, moving on to the next one, more of a negative comment, but I, got to make money off the haters, guys. So, Megafan 1906 was saying Rachel explaining Superman isn't an origin story in a press review equals desperate. Wow, never heard that from journalism school. I wonder how I was able to get that degree. All right, flexing on a useless degree. Congratulations. Have fun. And I'm saying that as someone who also got a useless degree. So,
Me too.
I can. What was your degree?
I have a bachelor's in fine arts. Thank you very much.
Yep. Yay! All useless degrees.
Minor in art history. Woo!
Yay.
I mean, I said this on the show too with Dan. I'm sick and tired of the same, like, you've got nothing else to talk about in regards to the film. Like, how many times have we heard this isn't an origin story? We fucking know it's not an origin story. Find something else to say. Find some other topic to discuss, because I can't, like, I it doesn't need to be this snarky necessarily, but at the same time, it's like, tell us something we didn't know, Captain Obvious. Like, yeah, James has already said it 10 fucking times, but
the reason I said desperate is because it feels like, I'm not saying it's like desperate from like a journalistic point of view, but like it's desperate from like the people of the movie. Like they were saying, like it feels, and what I was saying, it was desperate in the idea of them trying to get an audience that they will never get. It feels like they're like, we're not doing an origin story. We're not doing an origin story. Like they're trying to get like the.
But if you don't care about
cultists.
superhero movies, if you don't care about comic book, you're still not going to come by.
The three types of people that are never going to watch this movie: the people that aren't into comic book stuff, which is obvious. The Snyder cultists, they're not going to see it unless you get like the few dumbasses who are actually going to pay for the movie to hate watch it. Then cool, thanks for your money. And then the people that are like not like Snyder fans, but like who are like just who have been so like glazed over by the marketing, where they're just like, the movie looks like shit. It looks like a CW production. This looks bad. It looks stupid. Like, Superman's a boring character. You're never going to get those three types of people. So the reason I said desperate, if you actually, watch the video and just didn't listen for buzzwords, Mr. Mega Fan 1906, probably when you were born with your old fucking boomer ass. But it's a little desperate in the idea of them trying to get an audience they won't get. That's what I was trying to say. Like, it feels a little bit like, not, maybe it's a fed line to Rachel Brosnahan, like, hey, say this during an interview. Or maybe it was of her own volition. I don't know. But whatever it is, I'm not trying to shit on her. I'm not trying to shit on James Gunn.
No,
I'm not trying to shit on anybody of the crew. I'm just trying to, it's just like, it's clear that they want this movie to be successful, and they want a lot of people to see it because they believe in their movie and they want people to be happy and watch it. But there's people that are not going to do that.
But also, if you really take a big step back, that's how you promote a film, right? Every single time anybody sits down to discuss their project, they're saying, "Oh, it's something you've never seen before. Oh, it's a specific spin. It's a different take, and it's this person's perspective." Blah blah blah. Like, Okay. So how about talk about the movie itself rather than like, oh, don't expect this, don't expect that. Well, then tell us what to expect. Tell us what to look forward to. Like, tell us what it is about, not what it's not about. But oh well.
Yeah. Um it just like it's yeah, it's just like a Fed line. It's feels like a Fed line. It is, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But it just feels like kind of the same stuff over and over again, even though it was literally announced with the movie.
Right.
This is a year 2 Superman, not a year 1 Superman. So, you know, um, but yeah, just make sure to, speak a little, maybe listen a little bit better, sir. Try to like listen to the whole thing before you can. Remember, guys, rule of YouTube, the unspoken rule of YouTube. Watch the whole video before you comment. Make
That's
sure to
crazy talk,
listen to the
John.
entire thing
That's
before you comment.
crazy talk.
So Mr. or Mrs. or Miss or anything in between mega fan, try to listen to the whole thing before you comment. But Kyle Sweater said a very crass comment in regards to Grace Randolph. But it's still funny, so I'm gonna put it on the show, and Dan can't stop me because I'm the host. Ha! So Kyle Sweater was saying Grace Randolph can tongue punch my fart box on Taco Tuesday. She says anything for views and money, but all the signs are pointing to the end of this Batman universe. Whatever is the case in regards to the Becks, the Batman epic crime saga, whatever that may be, that doesn't matter, and you shouldn't dox a man for and like throwing out his maybe sickness to the world for clout. That's a dick move, and Grace Randolph is, well, I mean, to be fair, Grace Randolph has been an asshole for a long time, but like this should be the nail in the coffin. Like this should be like, if the internet didn't hate you now, they definitely hate you, because this was like one of the shittiest things you could possibly do, most definitely. So yeah, Grace
So
Randolph.
I don't know the background here. So can you just tell me
Oh
what
yeah,
it is that
sorry.
she did?
I wasn't sure if you knew. That's why I didn't want to mansplain. So I just assumed you knew.
You're
So
DC splaining. You're DC splaining to me.
so what happened was Grace Randolph said in one of her recent videos that that maybe like she heard from somebody that like that was close to like the DC stuff, that the reason that the Batman Part 2 has been taking a long time was because that Matt Reeves has a quote unquote situation similar to Chadwick Boseman, essentially
Okay.
insinuating the man has a debilitating disease,
Right.
and that's
And
why the
is
movie
battling
keeps getting
something. Yeah.
delayed, which
Okay.
is a
Which was a
major dick
rumor, was
thing.
it not?
It
But was
was
that not a
at the
rumor?
most a rumor, but
Okay.
like, even whether it's true or not true,
It's not her story to tell.
it's not her story to tell, and it's a
Yeah.
dickhead move. It's a
Yeah.
major dickhead move. So
100%.
you're a dickhead, Grace Randolph. So tongue punch Kyle Sweater in the fart box on Taco Tuesday.
I mean, as Fiona likes to say, play dumb games, win dumb prizes. That's what you get.
But yeah, moving on from crass comments, that's it for the show, guys. I'm sorry. I wish I could interact with you a little bit better. But in terms of Caleb Underwood being like, can't stop, won't stop. Did he? Talk about desperate for scoops. Yes. So enterprising Caleb, figure drawing Ron, Elite Easy
Mr. Carter, Nico
Hunter,
Nico.
Jalen, Nico, who else joined us? Well, Dan joined us in the chat for a little bit.
For a
Chris
hot second.
joined us for a hot sec. But yeah, I can't see anybody else, but thank you all for watching. We appreciate your comments. Sorry that I wasn't interacting with you guys as much, but yes, we know you're Jared Leto, Caleb. But thank you all for watching. We love and appreciate every
We
single one
surely
of
do.
you. Even if you insult Liz, but don't insult Liz, guys. We love Liz here, so shut the fuck up, Caleb. But yeah, that's it. We will be seeing you guys next week. We will be doing a lot more DCU dailies and MCU weekly, doing Oh So Curious. Going to be reviewing a bunch of stuff. So let's hope that that we're going to be reviewing some great movies instead of some shitty ones. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for more DCU news. Make sure to like and comment and subscribe and press the notification bell so you know when we go
Scribble for
live.
shizzle.
Subscribe for the shizzle, my hizzles. Anyway, and also, yeah, try to comment on, guys who watch it after the fact. We want to show our appreciation towards you guys. So leave comments and then you will maybe be featured on the show, because we want to show appreciation not just for the guys watching now, but for the guys watching later, because we love
right.
because sometimes you got work, sometimes you have to take your cat
Life
to
in the
emergency
way, we get
surgery.
it.
You
That's right.
gotta do life happens, but we love you. It's okay. So thank you for watching. Goodbye and good luck and good night. I don't know. I fucked that up, but anyway, peace out, guys.